morning. Oh, what a wonderful morning it is. We've got colour, not a lot, but a little bit of colour. When I arrived, there was a huge bank of sea fret sort of up here, and it's dropped slightly as the sun's rising. And unusually for me, I'm shooting almost directly into the sun, which is causing me a few headaches. But hey, we'll get there. To that end, I am shooting at f22, 2.5 seconds, ISO 100, and I'm getting some colour in the sky, and I'm getting that beautiful aqua colour on the water. This is a location that has been done to death, and I really don't care, because I've never done it. I haven't been here in, geez, it must be 15 years. I last came up on the bike. And to top the morning off, you'll not make this out, but I'm going to try. You may see down here black things bobbing in and out of the sea. We've got seals. It's fabulous. And for those of you who don't know, I'm at Flamborough Head. More specifically, I am at the quaintly named Drinking Dragon. Now, seeing as I have a bit of a thing about dragons, I thought it was about time that I got up here. What a fabulous morning. I'm not smoothing the sea out completely. I am just getting a little bit of streakiness. Let me see if I can tilt you down. Yeah, just where the water's coming in here. And over here, I'm just allowing it to be a little bit streaky, a little bit of whiteness. The glow on the horizon when I arrived this morning was superb. I didn't think we were actually going to get any colour in the sky at all because of that big bank of sea fret, but it's turned out beautifully. I'll flip you around and I'll show you the most unoriginal composition in the world ever. Now, although you can't see it fully, because obviously my phone has a narrower angle of view, that is essentially the composition I'm looking at, with a little bit of this foreground area here, a little bit of this banking going around here, and then out to the Drinking Dragon, the waves crashing in on the foreshore here, and I have got a sliver of sky, probably about that much. As I say, there's nothing unique, nothing original. Look at the water coming through down there. Crikey Moses. Nothing original, nothing unique. But it's just fabulous to be at the coast. You see the little seals bobbing about. Now, I know there are other compositions around here, but I really like this one. I did take one from, whoops, where are we? Up here, a ways, shooting down. But then this lot started to light up and I was missing that from shooting up there, so I dropped down here. Now let's see if we can. Don't know if this is going to be too dark, but we'll have a go. Pop that out there so I don't turn the rear screen off. There you go. Looks pretty grim from there with all the blown out bits, but that's because it's on the screen. But yeah, I think I'm quite happy with that. Now, one of the things I tend to do when I'm depressed is spend money. And I've treated myself to a new Lee filter holder. I looked at other filters and decided, no, I'm going to stick with the Lee system. So I bought the new filter holder, and crikey, you can see the condensation on the top of the filter there. And I've also bought the adapter bracket for the polarizer. So I now have a bracket that fits the polarizer, so it can stay on permanently and I don't have to fight the damn thing. And this is quite neat because I've locked it in position. If I turn this blue knob, I can now twist it. And there's something else you can do with it. I can't remember what it is. It's that one and that one. that's also locked in position, which is a huge bonus because I was an absolute swine for knocking it off. Now it locks in, that's really, really good. I will show you the kit at some point because I was so impressed when I opened the boxes. I've never been so excited. Well, the sun has most definitely risen now. I've just moved very slightly. I was, over there somewhere, and now I'm down here. I'm being conscious to keep the gap in the wall, or the gap in the rock, in the frame. But with the sun coming through and not having any cloud in the way, we now, conscious there's a cliff here, we're getting some beautiful light on this cliff face. So I'm just running a long exposure on this one. Hellfire, I've broken the 10 stop out. The sun, the way it's coming through, is also putting some definition, you're not going to see it from here, on the edge. There's a sticky out bit, contour I think is the word, on the Drinking Dragon, and it's just highlighting that. I'm just conscious I don't want to run the exposure for too long. That's actually a fairly good exposure, that. Let me just see what we're looking at there. 92.9 seconds. Let's have a quick nosy. Yeah, I could probably get away with slightly less than that as well. And it is just highlighting the contour on the edge of the dragon. What a fabulous spot. I can't believe I've never been here before, especially given that I actually quite like dragons. Oh, the seals are back again. Oh, there was a mass of seals out here. I know they're all back in here again. They must be rich feeding with the waves churning up the bottom of the water. The ocean floor. Now there are several other spots that I want to get to up here. No idea how you get to them, but I'm the back that way. So we're going to have a wander around. It's calm, but the waves are crashing quite nicely. That should do. Yes, that's more like it. That's 42.7 seconds, and that shows off the lighting slightly better than the longer exposure. This banking here is glowing. Absolutely glorious. I'm just going to run one more, and then I'm going to go for a puddle up there. And who moved sunrise? I was looking at times last night. Sunrise is 7:30 and sunset is 6:30. When did that happen? Well, I thought we were on an outgoing tide, but apparently not. So I want to get down on the beach. I've just walked down the steps, and if you are aware of the 99 steps at Whitby, that's even worse. They're all covered in sand and they're all wet. I've walked halfway down, I've gone down to the bottom to have a look, and it's either still an incoming tide or it's a very, very slow receding tide. And what I want to shoot is this little sea stack. Now I've taken a leaf out of Brendan Van Son's book and I've tried to come up relatively high. It's been a little bit difficult because the sun's there, that horrible bright bit, and it's creating a nightmare with sun flare, blown highlights, because we have an uneven horizon. It's been a real monkey to expose for, but I think I've managed it. I'm still not 100% confident because, or not confident, happy, because I want to get some separation between that rock and that cliff face, which means walking over there a little bit, which means I need to turn into a mountain goat, because that is very wet, very slippery and very steep. And if I slip, I'm going down on that stuff down there, and there's lots of rocks and horrible things. So I've done one image from here. I'm shooting in portrait orientation. I've got a little bit, and you're not going to see it from here. Let me just see if I can tilt you down a little bit. I've got a little bit of this foreground in with the horrible seaweed there, but hey, you can't have everything. And I think that kind of works. I've sort of got a band of green, and then the water, then these beautiful cliffs, which remind me of the White Cliffs of Dover. Not quite as white, but there's some beautiful banding. So you've got the green where the water's been hitting and the seaweed and the algae is, then you've got the white, and then you've got the green grass and moss and all the rest of it. So I kind of quite like that. But I am going to go and try and stand over there. I was shooting at f9, 30 seconds, ISO 100, and I've got the 6-stop and a 0.9 medium grade on because that sky is ridiculously bright. And I quite like that. Because of where the sun is, again, I can't put the polarizer on, and I think it would benefit from it. But the sun is slowly moving that way, which will help. Yes! I braved it. And I think I got what I was after. Oh, I've just come back over. I didn't dare bring the camera over here, the video camera over here while I was shooting. But I managed to frame up with just, where is it? Where's my hand there? That little bit of separation between the cliff face and that monolith. And it fascinates me how that was obviously joined to the cliff face at some point, and how that section of cliff face must have been weak enough for the seawater to erode, and that particular monolith was just more solid. Amazes me. And I ended up using the black card because I was getting horrendous sun flare. There's still a little bit of sunspot, but I can clone that bit out. It's not the most comfortable of compositions. I turn you around, but I don't think this thing's going to focus. If I tilt you down here, we've got a mass of horrible seaweed. And because we're on a receding tide, and it is now slowly but surely going out, I was getting a massive black patch as the foreground, which really didn't thrill me at all. So I've ended up shooting portrait, getting some of this greenery in on the foreground because the sun is lighting that up beautifully. And I was trying to time the waves to get as much coverage as I could over the seaweed, which kind of worked. But hey, this is different for me. I normally like very minimal, no foreground, just a subject matter, and that's it. So it's all a learning curve, and it doesn't always strike me as a great image simply because it's something I'm not used to shooting. And it probably isn't a great image, but hey, we've got to try. And as I say, I think the tide is on its way out, so I'm gonna try and get back over here. Oh, that's it. I'm gonna pack the camera up and walk down the steps and see what else I can find. If nothing else, it's damn good exercise. I actually came primarily to shoot this obelisk, and it's the one image that I can't figure out, excuse me, you're very slightly a lot on the one, that's better, how to get a decent composition on. That's kind of what I wanted. I popped the polarizer on just to try and slow the exposure down because I really did want this to be very minimal. I'm at 75 seconds in F10, which is blowing the sky somewhat, because again, it's a really difficult thing to filter for, because you've got an abstract shape on the cliff face, and then you've got the horizon. It's kind of giving me the effect that I want, but I can see a little bit of jiggery-pokery having to happen in Photoshop. I'm at F10 and 75.1 seconds, and because even though I was convinced it was an outgoing tide, I really wasn't 100% convinced. So I put my bag quite a way behind me, just to be safe. Every time I move, I think, oh, that might actually look better. What I'm trying for is the curves. There's two sticky out bits on the cliff face. There's that bit and then there's that bit. To get those, but still keep the separation. So you get a little bit of water coming around the base of this. And because it's a cove, there's masses of seaweed, and it really doesn't look very pleasant. But we'll see, we'll take it. And I've noticed masses of pure white rock. I really ought to find out what the rock is. Just stretching out into the water. There's a couple of big black boulders dotted about, but I've kind of missed the opportunity on those because the tide has gone out. But I'm sure there's more to shoot here. It's a wonderful place. Wonderful place. Well, that was a bizarre morning. Good fun though. Definitely time for some breakfast. I can't believe how much the car park's filled up. We've got 1, 2, 3. We've got 4 coaches with school kids, and the car park is heaving. And I'm taking up space in the tripod, so this is going to be short and sweet. So yes, bizarre morning. I didn't get the image that I went for, but I did get the image that I didn't think I would get. That kind of makes any sense. I finished shooting the obelisk, and the tide by that time was completely out. So I concentrated on doing a little bit of macro. I got the 90mm Tamron out, swore at it a few times because it's such a monkey to focus. Just concentrated on a couple of little abstracts just to finish off with. It's impossible to talk to you while I'm doing it because I'm doing it handheld. I really didn't want to get the tripod out. So yes, it was a nice way to finish off the morning. So a cup of tea, the obligatory pot of porridge, and that's me done. I'm off home. Things to do, people to see, places to go, as they say. So thank you very much for coming along. Hope you enjoyed a quick nosy round Flamborough. If you do come and you go down the steps to the beach where the obelisk is, or the monolith, whatever you want to call it, be careful. It does get very slippery. Most of the steps are there and they've got wooden fronts. But there's one particular one about 20 steps down from the top where the wooden board has gone and it's kind of curving now. So it's a bit dodgy, so just be careful if you head up here. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend, and I will see you again next Sunday. And I think we're going to be doing something different again. Bye for now.